Welcome, Victoria. It is such an honor to live in a part of the world where so many people are totally united in one beautiful goal. First, I'd like to take this moment to open our hearts and to raise our hands to thank and acknowledge our gracious hosts from the Esquimalt and Songhees Nation for allowing us to live and work on this unceded territory. And then we're going to try something really fun. I'm going to ask you to join me in blessing this event together, much like my family does around the dinner table each night. I'm going to ask you to reach out with your left and your right hand. And we're not going to sing Kumbaya, don't worry. Hold your neighbor's hand for a moment, and we're going to try something. I'd like you to close your eyes. Close your eyes for a moment, and for the next few moments, I'd like you to visualize the Canada that you dream of. The Canada that we are going to build together. Let's do that now together for a few moments. Now take a deep breath and give your neighbor a squeeze and open your eyes. My name is Crystal Sawyer. It's been a real delight to work with you all in the last 13 days since we started planning this crazy event. I was a reluctant organizer, having never ever done anything like this before in my life. But when I learned about this sing-along, I knew that one had to happen in Victoria. I waited and I waited and I wondered, when are they going to launch the event? And I kept wondering and waiting, and then I finally realized, there is no they. We are they. So I took that step because as a child I remember so many times feeling so proud of my Canada. The one who always did the right and honorable and peaceful thing in the world. The one that I believed had my best interest at heart. So as you know, my Canada has been under attack and has been suffering for the past 10 years. It's time for us to heal the wounds and repair the damage that's been done. I'm just a simple citizen, but pulling this together has reminded me that we all have power to change our world, individually and so much more together. So let's continue to work together and spread the word and help people to vote. Thank you so much to the Council of Canadians, the Raging Grannies, the City of Victoria, Jeremy Loveday and Ben Isaac, Genevieve Charbonneau, and so many others who have helped to pull off this day. And one more thing. Did you know that we can all go and vote right away now? We don't need to wait for October 19th. We can go to our Elections Canada office armed with the right ID, mind you. Can we please start a massive wave and a campaign of early voting so that we can all spend October 19th helping other people to vote? And October 20th celebrating the return of our home and native land. Who is ready for change in Ottawa? Woo! Let's do this.
I'll just use this mic. Hi folks, my name is Magnus. I'm going to be emceeing this event. Now, I'm supposed to say why this day is important to you. And I think my story is probably the same as most everybody's stories here. There's 1,000 different reasons and 1,000 different things we've seen on the news for the last 10 years. And I don't think we need to go into it. Also because we're running late on time. Yeah. There are 5 quick housekeeping notes. We can't distribute anything to the crowd. So if you still need a song sheet, there's stacks around, or you know what? Find a friend, stand next to them, and sing real loud, okay? Leave no trace. So make sure there's no garbage kicking around. If you see some and it's not yours, pick it up anyway. There's recycling bins, garbage bins, everything to take care of. And there's a gentleman with a hat who's going to be passing around for donations. Unfortunately, it's not free to rent the space. And who's the guy with the Stop Harper shirt and the hat? Right here. There he is. Yes, he's going to be coming around later for donations. And if you have some new verses, please come see Crystal right away. She's already introduced herself. And if you're a photographer or videographer and you're shooting today, talk to one of us so we know where it's going. And this is a live event, so if you do have your phone, make sure you turn it sideways. Nobody wants to see vertical video. And of course, first thing is, we've got a very special group of ladies to the stage who will share not one, not two, but three of their favorite songs with us today. Let's give a warm Victoria welcome to the most badass ladies in the land, the Raging Grays!
You go out to protest today, you're in for a big surprise. If you go out to protest today, you better go in disguise. For every spy and spook in the land has all your data at their command. Whatever you do, they're labeling you a terrorist. Don't demonstrate for hiking trails, food for children, or medical care for veterans. Don't go out to save the whales, and never ever mention climate change. Voting is the only thing a simple citizen is ever allowed to do. Just watch the world go to hell in a handcart, or you'll be clapped in jail now that C-51's gone through. So, shut your mouth and trust in Big Brother, don't care about a thing. That's Stephen Harper's advice to you. We have another Bill C-51 song.
You can show where our heart is.
Yeah. Ready? We will not shut up. Don't even think they'll give up. Harper is threatening our right to protest, but we will not line up. They must think we are dumb. This is what they're trying on, branding us terrorists if we protest. It's all in C-51. Security is their excuse for trying their best to reduce the freedom to stand and speak out for our rights without arbitrary abuse. If they haven't come yet for you, you're probably next in the queue. So let's stand together and vote Harper out, and not wait to see what he'll do. Okay, now this is a sarcastic song. I want everybody to know this, all right? Okay, Harper Fan Club is what we call this one. Oh, yes. You ready? Go. With so many people saying our Prime Minister's a goon, it is time for this confession. Stephen Harper makes us swoon when he calls for law and order or declares a state of war. We come over all a quiver. He's the hero we adore. When he thumbs his nose at science, climate change and stuff like that. When he almost gets excited, then our hearts go pitter-pat. Some may say he's growing weak, ratings are in the dump. But he's still the sole Canadian, more right-wing than Donald Trump. My order.
Thanks again to the Raging Grannies. All right, bit of a change up. I don't think anyone actually has a schedule, so it doesn't really matter if we change. Next up, we've got Genevieve Charbonneau, Cowichan Valley-based singer and songwriter, crafting tales of love, loss, and rural living in between raising her 3 sons, harvesting veggies, and hauling firewood. Her music is rooted in folk and old-time country, as it's once timely and timeless. She's going to be singing with a couple of the Raging Grannies.
But it's not my song.
It's not your song?
No.
Make it.
Who wrote it? I don't know. Oh. We got this off the internet.
I'm pretty sure you'll recognize the tune. All right, without further ado.
Imagine there's no practice this, so we're winging it.
We're winging it. Y'all know it, kind
Yeah.
of, so you're going to have to sing along, sort of, if you can.
Imagine there's no Harper. Imagine there's no Harper. It's easy if you try. No F-35s on order. Above us only sky. Imagine all the parties living life in peace. Imagine no war Senate. It isn't hard to do. No budget to kill or die for, and no hypocrisy too. Imagine all 5 parties living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday he'll leave us, and Canada will be as one. No attack ads. I wonder if you can. No Harper dodging questions. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the leaders walking hand in hand. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday he'll leave us, and Canada can live as one.
I don't think that mic likes me. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks again. All right. Now, are they here yet? They're not here yet. We're going to skip ahead. So now it's time for the main event? Now it's time for the main event. All right, if you're a soloist and you're not already up on the stage, come up on the stage. All right, good. And if anyone else wants to come up on the stage, or if you've got a special verse that you'd like to add into the end, now's your chance. You don't have to be a professional singer. I'm an engineer.
We'd like to fill out the background a bit with some more bodies, so let's get a bit more action.
Yeah, we're just going to move the mics around for just a second. So if you know somebody who's not going to vote, remember several years ago, the Esquimalt wanted fuca riding. That was 68 votes between the Liberal candidate at the time, Keith Martin, and Philip D'Souza. 68 votes. That was it. So when somebody tells you one vote doesn't matter, they're wrong. I mean, the difference between a majority government and a minority government that we're sitting in right now was less than 10,000 votes across the entire country. That's how razor thin the margins are. If you know somebody who says voting doesn't make a difference, tell them that. And it's probably okay to punch them because it's self-defense. That's an old joke. That's not actually encouraging violence. So does anybody actually know anybody who's not going to vote?
Oh,
Okay, what do we have to do to get that person to vote?
yeah, it's got everybody's names.
They've read a news article in the last 10 years, right? Well, that is one way to look at it. Well, I'm preaching to the choir, like literally, aren't I? Okay.
I'm going to tell a story about the song.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, Crystal's going to tell a little story about the song. So here we go.
Thanks. Everyone's always taller than me.
Can you hear me? Okay, most of us maybe know the story about Harperman, but for those of us who may not have heard it, there was a gentleman named Tony Turner who is a songwriter and a musician, and he wrote this amazing protest song in the tradition of amazing old protest songs. And on June 15th, he recorded it in Ontario with a group of his friends, and they put that on YouTube. And that night, I think it came across my news feed, and I thought, this has made my whole day. This is the best thing I've seen. And I sent it around, and I thought it would get a lot of traction, and didn't really get much traction. And I thought, oh, that was interesting. And lo and behold, about 8-9 weeks later, there was a huge commotion because, of course, the Harper government had caught wind of this song, and somebody got quite offended by the lyrics. So Mr. Turner, who is actually a scientist with Environment Canada, he studies the migration of birds. He has been put on leave with pay pending an investigation by the Harper government. So this is an issue of freedom of speech and expression in this country, which is a tenet that we all cherish and we continue to cherish. So in the meantime, instead of sneaking off and closing his lips, which he has done, he's staying away from the media, to be fair, he started a cross-Canada 45-city sing-along today. So today there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Canadians just like us who have heard the song, love the song, resonate with the song because every single lyric is true, come on, and we're all singing together. So that's the story. Are we ready? Yeah! Woo! Here we go.
Do you need a mic as well?
Everyone ready?
Yes.
Who controls our parliament? Harperman, Harperman. Who squashes all dissent? Harperman, Harperman. The Duffy handout incident. No respect for environment. Harperman, it's time for you to go. Who's the king of secrecy? Harperman, Harperman. Who has slashed the CBC? Harperman, Harperman. No money for PTSD. Accuses good Judge Beverly. Harperman, it's time for you to go. Come on, we want you gone, gone, gone. You and your pawns, pawns, pawns. No more cons, cons, cons. Time to move on, on. Get out of town, town, town. We want you round, round, round.
into climate change until it's on the stock exchange. Harperman, it's time for you to go.
Parties, fathers, bender near. Harperman, Harperman, preaches politics of fear. Harperman, Harperman, ignores the plight of native folks. Missing women, that's no joke. Harperman, it's time for you to go. We want you gone, 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 you and your cons, cons, cons. No more cons, cons, cons. Time to move on, on. Get out of town, town, town. Don't want you round, round, round. Harperman, it's time for you to go.
Who dropped the payload in Iraq?
Harperman, Harperman,
Who passed the Unfair Elections Act?
Harperman, Harperman.
Who's the dirty lying cheat? We don't know what he'll do next.
Harperman, it's time for you to go.
All the scientists
Harperman, Harperman,
called trouble people terrorists.
Harperman, Harperman.
Who wants the courts to just say yes? Suppresses freedom of the press.
Harperman, it's time for you to go. We want you gone, gone, gone. You and your cons, cons, cons. No more cons, cons, cons. Time to move on, on. Get out of town, town, town. We don't want you round, round, round. Harperman, it's time for you to go.
Turns watchdogs into blackmail.
Harperman, Harperman,
Music spreads the best bad job.
Harperman, Harperman.
Bigger prison, stop on crime. Larry Mander's election line.
Harperman, it's time for you to go.
Who's pulling all the Tory strings?
Harperman, Harperman,
Who stands to the right of the right wing?
Harperman, Harperman.
Ignores the cause of everything, but to hide all the deep will cling.
Harperman, it's time for you to go. We want you gone, gone, gone. You and your cons, cons, cons. No more cons, cons, cons. Time to move on, on. Get out of town, town, town. We don't want you round, round, round. Harperman, it's time for you to go.
Well, who revealed?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Who says no to refugees?
Harperman, Harperman,
Blames it on security.
Harperman, Harperman.
Says the answer's dropping bombs on innocent kids and their moms.
Harperman, it's time for you to go.
Anybody else?
Well, who reveres Uncle Sam?
Harperman, Harperman,
Says our future lies in oil sands.
Harperman, Harperman.
Dirty oil, dirty plants, dirty tricks and dirty hands.
Harperman, it's time for you to go. We've gone, gone, gone. You and your cons, cons, cons. No more cons, cons, cons. Time to move on, on. Get out of town, town, town. Don't want you round, round, round. Harperman, it's time for you to go.
And you can drive your omnibus to Kokomo.
And you can take that useless caucus when you go. And we'll scratch you from the long form census poll. Harperman, it's time for you to go. Harperman, where you gonna run to? Harperman, where you gonna run to? Harperman. raging grannies are now going to say goodbye to Stephen Harper. Goodbye, Stephen. We're glad you're leaving. There'll be no grieving when you end up getting dumped. Thanks, everybody.
All right. That was fantastic. All right, we've already got encores. You guys did amazing. Let's do this again on the 19th and let's get Stephen Harper a long and happy retirement starting as soon as possible.
And all his pockets.
We all want to sing it once more. Who wants to sing it once more?
All right, we got people wanting to sing it one more. Before we do that, I think we've still got some intros from some city councillors who'd like to say a few words if they're out of their meeting.
Yeah, they are.
They are? So if Councillor Ben Issett and, okay, they both come at the same time, Jeremy Loveday. Everybody's coming up at once. Who needs paper anymore? All right.
Thanks to everyone for coming out here today. We're elected to focus on local issues, but because of the federal government we have in Ottawa, we find that increasingly we have to step up and take a stance on federal issues. And just for example, 5 minutes ago, our council voted 8-1 to make the most substantial investment in housing that this region has seen to really tackle homelessness. We're an intervener in the National Energy Board hearings relating to the Kinder Morgan Trans Mountain Pipeline because of the threat that our community and coastal communities and plant and animal species are facing from the Harper government's big oil agenda. We're going to continue to stand up for the community, but all of you have to not just sing, but knock on doors, particularly in conservative held ridings. So there's more members of parliament from progressive opposition parties than there are representatives of the Harper government in Ottawa. So I'd encourage you to get in the car, head up to the North Island, head up to the Cowichan, to the Comox Valley, and let's defeat the sitting Conservatives, and let's take back the Vancouver Island ridings that Harper is currently counting on his side of the ledger.
My name is Jeremy Loveday. I'm also a councillor in there, and it is amazing to see this type of joyful resistance here today. And like Councillor Issett said, we got to get this channeled. We need a new government. We need federal leadership. Another issue that there is a distinct lack of leadership is the issue of refugees. And the Syrian refugee crisis has been in the news, and there's been great compassion shown by the residents of Victoria and residents across Canada. And so now some of those people, if you want to go to another rally, there's a rally on the other side of City Hall calling on the city to take action to become a sanctuary city for refugees, which will allow refugees to get access services without fear of being detained or deported. And this is another example of us needing to take local action because our federal government is shirking their responsibility. And so thank you all for coming out. Councillor Alto has a few more words as well.
Acknowledging the chirping from us. Listen, the reason I'm here, I'm not going to echo what Jeremy and Ben have said, but I wanted to just ask you to do one thing. I'm going to be walking from here to the other side of City Hall to join the rally there to talk about making Victoria a sanctuary city. The refugees that are today coming from Syria have been coming to us from many countries for many years. We have a tradition of having open hearts, and we have a tradition of welcoming these people to join our family and to make our family richer and better. And I hope that every one of you will take the opportunity to convey this message to your current leaders and to also change those leaders so that we don't just walk around the corner and rally, but that we actually open our hearts and open our doors and make our country a better place with the rest of the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Thank you very much. Who wants to sing it again? One more time. Can I have all the singers, if you're still here, to come up on stage? We're going to do it one more time. A little faster, a little louder, a little more energy. Who's in? I'm in! Woo!
Now, just one fun thing before we get started. I just got asked, there's a rally around the corner as well once we're all done in support of the refugees. If we wanted to go stop over and say hello to them, they're also open. But for now, we're going to do Harperman.
Faster. Louder. Faster. We're going to put our back into it this time. Louder. Well, who controls our parliament? Harperman, Harperman. Who squashes all dissent? Harperman, Harperman. The Duffy handout incident. No respect for the environment. Harperman, it's time for you to go. Well, who's the king of secrecy? Harperman, Harperman. Who has slashed CBC? Harperman, Harperman. No punny for PTSD. Accuses good Judge Beverly. Harperman, it's time for you to go. We want you gone, gone, gone. You and your cons, cons, cons. No more cons, cons, cons. Time to move on. Get out of town, town, town. Don't want you round, round, round. Harperman, it's time for you to go.
Who puts the road into the road?
Harperman, Harperman.
Party line must be towed.
Harperman, Harperman.
On the stock exchange. Harperman, it's time for you to go.
Payload on Iraq.
Harperman, Harperman.
Who passed the Unfair Elections Act.
Harperman, Harperman.
Who's the too-big control freak? Makes our future look so weak.
Harperman, it's time for you to go.
All the scientists,
Harperman, Harperman.
false trouble people, terrorists.
Harperman, Harperman.
Who wants the votes to just say yes? Suppresses freedom of the press. Harperman, it's time for you to go.
We want you gone, gone, gone. You and your cons, cons, cons. No more cons, cons, cons. Time to move on. Get out of town, town, town. Don't want you round, round, round. Harperman, it's time for you to go.
Turns watchdogs into lapdogs.
Harperman, Harperman.
Gives his friends the best fat hat job.
Harperman, Harperman.
Bigger prisons, stop on crime. Gerrymanders, election lines.
Harperman, it's time for you to go.
Who's pulling all the Tory strings?
Harperman, Harperman.
Who stands to the right of the right wing?
Harperman, Harperman.
Ignores the cause of everything, but to ideology will cling.
Harperman, it's time for you to go. You have one more verse? Who reveres Uncle Sam? Harperman, Harperman. Says our future lies in oil sands. Harperman, Harperman. Dirty oil, dirty plans, dirty tricks, and dirty hands. Harperman, it's time for you to
watch you from the long form census poll. Harperman, it's time for you to go. Harperman, where you gonna run to? Harperman, where you gonna run to? Harperman, where you gonna run to? On election day.
All right, thank you, Victoria. Have a fantastic day. There's only one day this year, you have to remember it. All right, everybody at once, what's that date? Make it happen. All right. Oh, the address. The address for Elections Canada, if you want to vote in advance, is apparently 722 Johnson. They're open apparently from 9 till 9. Remember to bring 10 to 5. 10 to 5. We've got new information. All right, 10 to 5, and then I can't hear what the other thing is. That doesn't matter, but you can vote 722 Johnson. Look up the hours online. Remember to bring lots of ID because who knows?